A
Very
very
good
good
morning.
morning.
I
I
would
would
like
like
to
to
speak to
speak to
our
our
Madam
Madam
Noh,
Noh,
Hidayah,
Hidayah,
and
and
all
all
my
my
friends.
friends.
My
My
name is
name is
Daniel
Daniel
Kim
Kim
Hong. With
Hong. With
my
my
group
group
I
I
friends
friends
want to
want to
present
present
our
our
group
group
assignment to
assignment to
you.
you.
There,
There,
our
our
most
most
advanced
advanced
technology
technology
is
is
automatic
automatic
driving
driving
car.
cars.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and hi everyone. First of all, I want to introduce myself. My name is Aida Nur Aishki Binti Mohaini. My number matric is B062210526. I want to explain introduction automatic driving car. A self-driving car, also known as an autonomous car, driverless car, or robotic car, is a car that is capable of traveling without human input. Self-driving cars use sensors to perceive their surroundings, such as optical and thermographic camera, radar, lidar, ultrasound, GPS, odometry, and inertial measurement units. Control system interpret sensory information to create a three-dimensional model of the surroundings. Based on the model, the car identifies appropriate navigation path and strategies for managing traffic control and obstacles. While the technologies mature, autonomous vehicles are predicted to impact the automobile industry, health, welfare, urban planning, traffic insurance, labor market, and other fields. Definition of autonomy in the word. Autonomy is used to define the state of freedom that a person has and that allows him to function well in any activity without needing outside help. The free and independent state in which something or someone acts and which allows them to function without the help of anyone. He driving more specific instruction by a driver assistant with system of either steering or declaration using information about the driving environment and with the expectation that the human driver perform all remaining aspects of the dynamic driving task. The driving more specific execution by one or more driver assistant system of both steering and electric actuation using information about the driving environment and with the expectation that the human driver perform all remaining aspects of the dynamic driving task. The driving more specific performance by an automated driving system of all aspects of the dynamic driving task with the expectation that the human driver could respond appropriately to intervene. The driving more specific performance by an automated driving system of all aspects of the dynamic driving task, even if a human driver does not respond appropriately to a request to intervene. The full task performed by an automated driving system of all aspects of the dynamic driving task under all roadway and environmental conditions can be managed by a human driver. Driving skills have the knowledge of when to use basic physical handling by driving politically.
Now, I
Now,
would
I
like
would
to
like to
show a
show a
YouTube
YouTube
video
video
that I
that I
searched
searched
for.
for.
This
This
video
video
gives
gives
most of
most
the
of the
information
information
about
about
our
our
group
group
titles.
titles.
For
For
instance,
instance,
figures,
figures,
news,
news,
other
other
cars that
cars that
had
had
this
this
function,
function,
and
and
so
so
on.
on.
It would be easy to believe that we are on the verge of a fully self-driving car revolution, thanks in part to this guy.
Tesla car next year will probably be 90% capable of autopilot. For sure, highway. We're probably only a month away from having autonomous driving, at least for highways, like a Model S and Model X can drive autonomously with greater safety than a person. Right now, safer than a person by the end of next year. Autonomous robotaxis for Tesla next year, and releasing it to the Tesla customer base next year. I mean, it's looking quite likely that it will be next year.
So why are we still no closer to self-driving cars? Tesla has been working on its driver-assisted technology, which they have branded as Autopilot, since 2013, with varying degrees of success. Problems range from running red lights,
Holy, just ran that red light.
to not recognizing tram tracks, to a serious love of bollards. The company began beta testing its full self-driving system in 2020. But the difference from most software testing is it's doing it with ordinary people driving real cars on public roads. The drivers who are doing the testing for Tesla have each paid $12,000 for the privilege.
I feel like it's worth it.
Do I think it's worth it? No.
But it's not just Tesla who are struggling to perfect self-driving technology. Honda is working on it too, as are Waymo, owned by Google, and Cruise, owned by General Motors. All these companies predicted they'd have full self-driving cars by 2020, but as yet none of them have. Some have gotten close, like Cruise's robotaxis, which acquired licensing to carry passengers in unmanned cars in 2022, but they are far from perfect. In July of this year, a fleet of robotaxis all drove themselves to an intersection in San Francisco and brought traffic to a standstill for hours until engineers could remove them. Creating full self-driving cars is much harder than car makers initially thought. With the exception of Teslas, most cars need to have multiple sensors to feed information into onboard computers, which expend large amounts of processing power to map what's going on and predict what might happen next. Things that are easy for humans to predict can present complex problems for computers, such as when someone at the side of the road steps off the curb and disappears behind a parked van. A human might expect them to reappear from the other side of the van and step out onto the road. But for a computer, that's a very difficult calculation. In 2022, Elon Musk outlined the real scale of the problem.
In order to solve full self-driving properly, you have to solve real-world AI.
So far, nobody in any field is close to solving real-world AI. Simple things like driving at night or rain can bamboozle an automated car's computer system.
All the water or the sensors are probably going off right now, going crazy.
All the information the car will need to drive safely has to be learned by its computer. This is why Tesla is using over 100,000 ordinary drivers to effectively teach its evolving software how to drive in the real world. These drivers are helping to identify edge cases, the type of problems that rarely occur, but that require special handling by the computer. Like here, when the car sees the red Wells Fargo banner on the side of the building, interprets it as a stop sign, and mistakenly engages the brakes. The problem is, in the real world, there are almost endless possibilities for what a car might be faced with. So even if you teach a car to avoid a cow in the road, it might not take the same action if it meets a sheep. As the true difficulty of achieving autonomous driving has become apparent, some companies have simply given up on it altogether, with both Uber and Lyft selling their self-driving divisions. The biggest issue facing all the companies is safety, because the technology has to be 99.99999% safe. And while the first one or two of those nines may have been achieved, there are more to go. Unfortunately, each step gets significantly harder. There are 5 levels of automation before full driving automation is achieved. Honda and Mercedes-Benz say they have been certified at level 3. But still, after a decade of work, most companies, including Tesla, are only at level 2. And this is what can happen under level 2 automation. Fortunately, no one was hurt. But since 2016, the National Highway Traffic Safety investigated 31 crashes involving Teslas equipped with automated driving systems. 19 of them were fatal.
Since you all watched the video and now like a famous person, that is Elon Musk. He's a Tesla CEO, Twitter CEO, SpaceX CEO, and so on. Now he still needs the time to update the automatic driving car, which is Tesla car. There are a lot of different branch cars also struggling to become perfect self-driving cars. There are Honda, Waymo owned by Google, and Crush owned by General Motors. They predict that 2020 will have a full self-driving drive car, but still not yet at this time. There are the factors automatic driving cars are easily into self-perfect. Firstly, the computer difficulty calculating the car distance with other objects. Secondly, the car's computer system will also be influenced at night or day. Furthermore, some companies, for example, Uber and Lyft, has simply given up.
Three benefits of autonomy vehicles. Firstly, reduce accidents. Accidents will be significantly reduced because all of those self-drive vehicles are using automation systems that could make our driving more stable. Although accidents will not be reduced to zero, there will be much less than accidents caused by human beings. Secondly, higher traffic efficiency. The traffic will be more efficient than non-self-drive cars, even though it is estimated that their speed in big cities will be lower, their traffic efficiency will be higher. Lastly, access to the disabled and reduce mobility. People with visual or hearing disabilities will be able to have one. They will become inclusive. Thanks to the fact that the automobile will be autonomous and will require practically and human interaction for its operation. As I said before, people with visual or hearing disabilities. That's all from me. Next, I will give to the next presenter.
Okay, so here I'm going to talk about the weakness this technology can bring to us. First, this technology will reduce our driving pleasure. Second, there will breed more or a new generation of people who are lifeless and live in only their smartphones or tablets. And last but not least, they will take the fun of enthusiasts to drive the car of the market.
Hi, my name is Rati binti Hashim. Today I would like to talk about how technology works. Number 1. Computer vision. Computer vision is the process through which we use camera pictures to determine how the world around us look like, for example, 3D map creation and land finding. Secondly, sensor fusion. Sensor fusion is the process to combine data from various sensors to get a more detailed understanding of our environment. Next, localization. After we have developed a true understanding of our world around us, we use localization to determine our precise location within it, for example, GPS.
To wrap it all, automatic driving car is also well known as autonomous car is very advanced technology that can change the way citizens drive their cars and solve a lot of problems in the near future. There are 6 levels of autonomy, but as of March 2022, level 3 and above remain a marginal portion of the market, with the Honda and Mercedes-Benz lead the rest of automatic driving car. Last but not least, I hope automatic driving car give a critical impact for the next generation.